We usually measure our fitness in strict numbers, weekly minutes, daily steps, or total miles. To hit those quotas efficiently, it is incredibly easy to lock yourself into a single, repetitive routine. You find a route, pick a pace, and grind out the required time. But what if optimizing purely for the amount of exercise we do makes us blind to an entirely separate variable in the longevity equation? Researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health recently designed a study to test that exact premise. They asked a straightforward question. If two people exercise for the exact same amount of time, but one sticks to a single activity while the other performs 5 different types of movement, will one of them live longer? If the person mixing up their routine outlives the specialist, then variety represents a critical, overlooked factor in the human lifespan. Answering a question like that requires a massive ledger of human behavior. To find the pattern, researchers analyzed health and lifestyle data from more than 111,000 adults over the course of 30 years. That data was drawn from 2 major historic tracking projects, the Nurses' Health Study and the Health Professionals Follow-Up Study. The study questionnaires asked participants to document specific movements, allowing the researchers to categorize 3 decades of diverse physical activity. That included traditional high-intensity cardio, like running, swimming laps, or playing tennis. They also tracked resistance activities, measuring who spent their time lifting weights or doing calisthenics. Crucially, the surveys expanded the definition of exercise well outside the gym, capturing heavy outdoor functional labor, like digging and chopping wood. By tracking that broad spectrum of human exertion across decades, the team built a comprehensive map of how varied physical labor impacts human lifespan. The team then applied a statistical method called variable isolation. They scored participants purely on the variety of their activities, while carefully adjusting for other lifestyle and health factors to keep the comparison clean. This chart illustrates the baseline control group, participants who engaged in the lowest variety of exercise, sticking to consistent routines. Besides them is the comparison group, those reporting the highest variety of exercise types, engaging in a broad portfolio of movements. The data revealed a clear gap. The high-variety group experienced a 19% lower risk of premature death. Surprisingly, this 19% benefit held true at every physical activity level, remaining perfectly constant even when total exercise hours are exactly equal. Let's consider a concrete example. Person A runs strictly on a treadmill for exactly 5 hours every week. Person B logs the exact same 5 hours, but divides them between running, lifting weights, practicing yoga, and tending to their garden. Person B clearly doesn't outwork Person A, yet by simply varying their movements, Person B achieves that nearly 20% reduction in mortality risk. Variety operates as a physiological driver of longevity all on its own. The specific ways your body moves matter just as much to your survival as the time you spend moving. To be clear, the researchers note specific limitations in their work, the reliance on self-reported survey data, and the fact that these historical medical cohorts were made up primarily of white health professionals. Even so, the scale of the findings offers a practical shift in how we approach fitness. We can stop treating exercise as a daily chore to check off and start managing it like an active, diverse portfolio. Research scientist Yang Hu points out that people naturally prefer different activities as they age or as their health conditions evolve. That instinct to mix things up isn't a lack of discipline, it is a physiological benefit. You can actively lower your mortality risk by simply trading one of your standard cardio days for a completely different modality, like moderate yard work or gardening. The takeaway here is liberating. To extend your lifespan, you do not need to keep adding exhausting hours to an already packed weekly schedule. The key to a longer life isn't necessarily found in adding more hours to a routine. It involves introducing new ways to move within the time already available.